What is going on YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today I want to be showing you what is probably one of the most ridiculous games of Digimon that I have ever played. Now this is going to be between myself on the left playing Imperialdramon versus my opponent on the right playing AncientGarurumon. Now I flashed my hand right there, but if you did miss it, my hand is 3 Hammer Sparks, Imperialdramon, and Blitz Omnimon. So off the top I'm going to draw the Vmon, which is allow me to Digivolve there and get another draw. Now I'm going to triple Hammer Spark up to 7 and hard play Imperialdramon, and then Digivolve into Imperial since my opponent does have the Davis out. And now at this point I imagine that I'm just probably going to lose because of my opening hand, but we're going to see my opponent warp up into AncientGarurumon, swing unsuspend, and hit the 4th Hammer Spark, which is going to end my opponent's turn and kill the AncientGarurumon with no target for the Lobomon. So now my opponent has nothing on board, and I have an Imperial with Imperialdramon underneath and a Vmon, but the Vmon's going to get bounced back with the Supreme Cannon. I can go ahead and swing again and then just start developing on board. I'm going into the Lobomon, so now that I have potential 3 checks next turn, which allows me to potentially go into Omnimon if I do choose. So we're going to see what my opponent can do. We saw that they have the Supreme Cannon, so if they get out something with a Garuru tag somehow, then they can go ahead and Supreme Cannon back the Lobomon, which would save them for a turn. But as of right now, threatening game with Lobomon outside of there being a security check like a Kaitis Breath. So we're going to have to see what my opponent's going to do, because as of right now they went from probably very far ahead, considering my hand, to very, very far behind. So we're going to see the Strabi and another Strabi coming out. So we're playing Strabi Cycle, which allows another Strabi to get hit. So both the Strabis just searched other Strabimons. But as we're going to see, I'm going to go ahead and swing in now, unsuspend with the Imperialdramon, swing with jamming so I live the Omnimon attack, and then I can go ahead and just blitz in with Omnimon for game. So like I said, that was probably the most ridiculous game of Digimon that I have ever played. The fact that my turn 2 trash was just 4 Hammer Sparks is something that I doubt I will ever see again, and the chances of my top card being a Hammer Spark there when I triple Hammer Sparked turn 1 was pretty low. So that was a pretty ridiculous game. So my opponent's going to start Digivolving up and raising. They play the Gabumon, and we see one of the promo Lobomons go to the bottom, so it's very good for me. I'm just chilling with a couple Gomomons so I can put my opponent at minimal memory, but I can start to build up now, get up into the Dino B. So if my opponent decides to swing, I can swing with piercing and jamming, and then this threatens so I can go into any of my Megas, whether that be Nidhogg, Bancho Stingmon, or Imperial. So sitting in a pretty decent spot. Obviously Imperialdramon is probably going to be a little bit better because of the unsuspending effect with the Imperialdramon, but the Dino Beamon does open me up for more plays. But we do see the Nidhogg get hit by the Gabumon in security, so that is shut down, so no more Nidhoggs, but we can swing with piercing and jamming. We'll shut down the Sealmon from being able to block, and then get the free check in there, once again hitting another Omnimon. So multiple times I've swung with jamming this set and hit the Omnimon, which is a very great check to hit with jamming. Going to Digivolve now, looking for an Imperial to unsuspend, and I'm just going to Hammer Spark and go straight into Pyldra, which means I can swing jamming, going to hit the Hammer Spark. Now I was going to go into the Imperial there and unsuspend both, but did hit the Hammer Spark, so that's not going to be the case anymore. But now my opponent Digivolves into the Sagittarius mode, so that means they can swing over either of my Digimon if they do choose to, or they could go in for some checks if they wanted, but they are going to swing into the Dino B, which was interesting. Wanted to get rid of the ability to draw, I suppose, because the Imperial does have the ability to unsuspend with Imperialdramon, so either was wanting to get rid of the Demi V underneath Dino B, or wanting to make it so you can't swing into blockers freely because of the piercing. So as of right now, just chilling. No AncientGarurumon on board yet, so we're both kind of starting off a little bit slower than usual because I don't have Imperial, no AncientGarurumon, but we're actually going to see a triple stack of Sagittarius modes, which is ridiculous. So now the DP buffs on here are pretty high. There's not really any way I'm going to be able to swing over that on my turn unless I go into one of my bigger Megas. And so I'm just going to start swinging. No draw there. Going to trash the bottom with the Absolute Blast, but I still have another source underneath, so it won't bounce to my hand, which is very, very good. So going to Hammer Spark up to 2, and then Digivolve into Imperialdramon, putting my opponent at 1. I wanted to put my opponent at minimal memory, so that way if they do play anything, it will just pass over to my turn. They are going to swing, hits the Vmon check, so safe there. There was not very much in the security that would really be able to stop that Sagittarius mode, considering how many buffs it's going to be having. But now that it's suspended, I can threaten to go ahead and swing over it if I want to, but my opponent's going to Kaitis Breath, which is going to put me all the way up to 6, and that means if I have a Hammer Spark, I could technically get back up into Imperial, but I'm going to go into the Imperialdramon and then swing jamming, draw with the Demi V, And then that's another promo Lobomon gone. Once again, just going straight back into the Imperial. Opponent knows it's in the hand because they bounced it back. So just getting that on board, putting them at 1 memory once again, so that if they play pretty much anything besides a Hammer Spark, it will end their turn, giving them as little options as possible. And the Sagittarius mode is, as much as it's very threatening right now because it's pretty big, with no Ancient Garuru out, not that terrifying of a offensive presence, just because there won't be the swinging unsustaining effect, and I don't have to worry about him potentially unsuspending hybrids or Garurumon. So going to go ahead and grab the, I believe that was Strabimon there, potentially trying to search out the promo Lobo there, swinging unsuspending with Imperialdramon. Opponent's going to let it hit. I'm going to swing in, they will block. I will go into the Omnimon. I'm at 4, so it'll be at 0, so I can swing again, and then I can Cocytus Breath the Sagittarius mode back, and since there's nothing on board, my opponent's just going to concede there. So that was a very quick game. That was round 2 of a local, but I just thought it was absolutely insane, the luck of that first game. The chances of that happening are very, very low, and the fact that I got it on camera is a nice little meme for me and my friends. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe, because I'll be having Digimon content to you coming all the time. But with that being said, I hope you have a great day, and peace out.